Good afternoon. It's Sunday, March 2nd. Got what, 3 weeks of winter left, give or take. We're back on Project R. One of the things I mentioned in the last video, the things that we need to do is steering. I could try to get it to start, but then I'm going to want to drive it, and I have no steering. The steering shafts are different lengths. The wide fronts have a steering box mounted right about here, and then the single front and the narrow front steering box is up front here in the pedestal, right in there, and here's the end of that steering shaft. So I don't have one set up to do the job that I need or that'll work on an R. I checked the parts. But this is the one off the Z, the one that the engine came off of. So all the shafts are the same diameter, the steering wheels are the same. The way they mount is a little bit different from an R to a Z. This one mounts on a post, which we're not going to do that. The R's mount right here on the dash, which I don't currently have one ready to go, but we do have the wide front off the military. Or not military, excuse me, that'd be bad, because they only made 250 R's of military, off the industrial R. So out there I have the bracket I need. What else? I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I got the bracket and the collar that's going to mount the steering wheel, or the steering shaft right here. So first off, we got to figure out which end I'm going to go to get this off, either down to the knuckle. Well, you know what? I got to take that knuckle off anyways. Maybe we'll do that. I was going to take the steering wheel off. I'm not sure which is going to be the lesser two evils. They're both going to be stuck. But I got to get this off. So let me grab a hammer and a punch, and we'll start on the knuckle down here. Okay, so these joints are only on there with a tapered round pin, and it looks like this is the narrow side. The other side is pushed out a little bit, so we're going to try going that way first. I don't know if I'm having any luck going that way. Guess I could. Hey, it went. Get it off that block a little bit. Let's try the punch. There we go. Oh, I got it. Except I drove it right into my block. So yeah, I want to save this. I'll save that knuckle. All those knuckles are, at least on the ladder series, at least on the Z's and U's so far, or R's and Z's, excuse me, they all seem to be same size knuckle and pin. So there you go, there's a little bit of a split right there. I mean, I think these are tapered. Yeah, I'll go from big to little down here. So we got that. That aside so we don't lose it, and we'll start beating on this thing. May have to get a bigger hammer. Yeah, that's going to be rusted on. So let me grab a bigger hammer and we'll try that. Yeah, that's better. A little bigger, a little heavier, a little more oomph. There we go. Just need a little more horsepower behind that thing. Ta-da! Okay, that's one. Now we'll go outside and see about getting that other thing out there. All right. Looks like somebody tried taking this wheel off. I don't know how this is going to work out. Oh. Everything wants to move because it's not hooked to anything. Yeah, and the steering wheel's just turning and breaking off all the grip. Not that there's much left on it, but not helping. Well, let's get some heat on that and we'll try that. All right, try that again. Oh, there we go. There she's starting to come loose. Ouch. And smashed my finger right there. That hurt a little bit. You know, I've never done this part of the... I've never taken the steering wheel off before. I'm sure this will be fun. A little keyway right there. Squirt some oil down it. Now we're going to do a little heat. Do it here to the center, just like we did the nut. I'm starting to see bubbles again between the steering wheel and the threads of the shaft. Always seems to be a good sign. There you come, see it coming bubbling out of where the keyway is. You know it's getting hot. I mean, it's just a little propane bottle and it's doing it. Well, let's see how that goes. There it goes. Got it. I know the coating's coming off the steering wheel, but it still worked for something. You know, you gotta hoard your parts. Okay, let's see. So that's gonna slide up to there. So we got to get that collar off and that collar off and swap that over to switch that over to the other steering shaft. Squirt some lube on here, penetrating oil. There we go. Alright. You know what? I'll just spray that whole shaft. Clean up my mess a little bit. We'll throw that in there. Gotta get a screwdriver for that set screw. Then we'll continue. That one's too big. There we go, that's more like it. This screwdriver's got a hex on the end, so you can put a wrench on it if you want. Of course, you'll probably end up twisting your blade or your screwdriver tip, or make it pop out. Alright, more heat. Little heat, little oil. Not always that easy. We'll take that sucker all the way out. Find a place to put it before it burns me. Right there. And knock that off, get it out of the way. Need a punch. Off. Not happy about it, but it's doing it. Oh, forgot. Still got to get that key out of there. That took off like a shot. There it is. Keep all the parts. You never know when you're going to need them. And you don't have to run to town. Or you can call it hoarding. Whatever. Oh, don't need that no more. There's the set collar. Now the piece I really need. Let's see. Put more oil on that rust. There we go. There's that. The piece I need. It's kind of heavy. There we go. I need that too. Don't need is that, but I don't need it laying in the gravel either. So, okay, we'll grab our parts and we'll go back to the shop. All right, the piece, the bracket that's going to mount the steering shaft to the dash is at the wrong angle. Let me show you. So this is I should explain first. This is for the industrial. The steering wheel sat almost not straight up, but a steep angle. So here's the bracket I need, but we're not going to use this one. But here's the bracket I have. If I mount it in the holes that are on the dash accordingly, you can see the steering wheel is almost straight up. And this one is more out towards the driver. So we're going to have to make, well, I already marked it. I'm just going to drill 2 new holes in here. And then we'll try and mount it. That way it's more this angle than that angle. And then, see, I need to grind that off too. So, we'll get that done. And then, we'll have to get a steering shaft length. We'll get that cut, and then we're going to need to drill a hole to put that joint on there. Then we'll try mounting this thing up. So in order for me to get the holes drilled and this to line up the way I need to, I'll take the tank off. I got a little weld that was on here I need to grind. Well, they also welded up here, so I'll grind that off. I think I'm going to cut this piece out here. This is like a one-piece deal. The factory weld is along here, close to where somebody else welded. So they just cut one piece with all the holes in it, bent it here and here, and then that brought it up so they could weld up to there. So we'll set that aside somewhere so I don't lose it. There, got the bolts out already. So get this out of the way. There we go. So now this is going to have to be more like that. That's not going to work because that's not covering the hole. And that's not covering that hole. Shoot. You know what? I guess I could just drill new holes, huh? Yeah, let's do that. We'll get this cut. I'm going to have to cut this because this is intruding into where the fuel tank sits in that rubber. So we'll get that. Yeah, let's get this cut. Get that out of the way. Get that hole drilled. I marked the other one too, so we'll get them both drilled and then we'll drill a hole here. cut off what we don't need here. Yeah. And I measured the shaft for the steering shaft length. That's like 62 and a half, 62 and 5/8. So I'm going to just do 62 and a half, and that's to the back side of the steering wheel, not all the way out to the end of the threads. If you're trying to copy what I'm doing, please don't. I mean, if you want to build one of these, fine, but don't do what I do. And I'm probably going to put a bolt in that to the knuckle down here. I think. I'm not sure yet. My thought is, if I'm going to be taking this apart in the future by splitting the tractor or something, it'd be nice to just unbolt it. Of course, he's still going to have to knock it out. Crap, I don't know what I'm going to do. I thought I did. You know what? We'll figure it out as we go. Okay, grinder. Alright, so we got that cleaned up. We'll stick a couple of bolts in, and we'll get this bolted on. One, two there. So I don't know about the rest of the country. I heard some parts of the country right now they're having snow, and or they're getting done with their snow and it's starting to thaw. Getting ready to go back into more snow. Where I'm at, for the most part, any big snowstorm, it's over. I mean, we might get 1 to 3 inches between now and the end of winter. And we might get a dusting during the spring too. But this last few days, we've had like a fall spring. Sure, a lot of you know what that is. We've got it. It's been like basically 60 degrees for the last few days. Today's supposed to be 50 outside, but the wind's not blowing, so it's nice. I know the ratchet's supposed to be on the other side, but I put the nuts on the inside and my gauges are in the way to get the ratchet. So there we go. Now what? This has got a notch in it. That's for a grease zerk, not a set screw. Right there. That's for grease zerk. This whole piece has a notch in it right here. You see that? Starts here, ends there. Well, so does the hole. So it's supposed to lock in, but it looks like this is hogged out a little bit. We're not too worried about it. This collar is to keep the steering shaft from moving back and forth within this. I guess. I mean, that's what my other R's have. I don't even know if I need that. I may not. I may try not use. Shoot, if I don't put that on now, that with it. I'm gonna leave it off for now. I think. I don't know. I feel chicken. Yeah. That's quite a bit of weight too. You know what? Tag with it. Let's take a chance. not putting that collar on. It's supposed to be on there, but we're not going to do it. I'm going to clean up the inside of this. I'm going to get the steering shaft cut, and then, well, I have to drill a hole for the knuckle or for the joint down there. Yeah, we are getting close to having steering. Shoot, that's a pretty straight cut. I drew that out, you know, marked it one spot and drew it out by hand. Not a perfect, not a real flat cut, but pretty flat cut. Again, we'll divert so it'll go into the yoke here nice and smooth and I don't get cut. All right, I'm going to grab the null, line that back up again, nice and flush. Well, I kind of chickened out and sort of as far as the collar right here. I put it on, but I cleaned up the steering shaft, the inside of the yoke, inside of this. And I had to fight with this a little bit before I put this lock collar on. But now it just slides up and down nice. There goes the collar and goes whatever that part is. So let's stick that in. Set it right there. So what I'm doing is I started my pilot hole. I don't have a drill press, so I can't line it up and make sure I go straight through. I'm sure I could probably get pretty close, but I'm going to use the yoke or this joint here. I'm going to put it in and I'm going to start drilling, and that should act as a pilot and get me drilled nice and straight. Maybe that's it. Feels pretty solid. And carburetor. I know I got that in you guys. I don't know if I'm in your way. Clean, there's no extra grease or about a 1/2 inch, 3/8, maybe 3/8 to go. This, and I'll bring you back when I get it figured out. There we go. As you may have noticed, I switched drills, but I did that because both my batteries went dead on the cordless. So let me see about a nut and a bolt and a couple washers, and we'll hook this up. All right, somewhere, here it is. Somewhere I have a screwdriver. So that collar's down, the lock collar's down on top of that. I'll leave it pointing straight up. Yeah, so with the, if everything works out and if everything works on this tractor the way it is, this is a progression of start with what you got. If everything works, either we'll build this engine, bigger pistons and whatnot, and then maybe if I can find a propane head, that's a possibility, or maybe we go for a 220 out of a U302. What else, Zach? Engine out of a 335 or a 445. They're 206 cubic inch overhead valve instead of the horizontal like we've got. So got it. We have steering, except for getting a nut on that thing. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's make things look nice. Get all line. There we go. Starting to look like something. Like I said, I'm still way behind. I got a lot of work to do, but it's a start, or another step. Excuse me, not a start, it's another step. So that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you watching, liking, subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.